I saw like a video that made me like, ooh, emotional.
Yeah.
It was like the dad came in and like hugged his baby, and then the dad of the mother came in and hugged like the woman, like the mom.
Say that again. So the dad
So
came
like
home.
this woman just gave birth, right?
Right.
And the dad of the baby came in and just like checked on the baby immediately.
Yeah.
But then like he came in with the family of the mother, and then the dad of the mom like came in, like, and hugged like his daughter first.
Yeah.
And it made me like, ah!
That I've seen so many of those, and without fail, they always make me tear up. I think the caption was like, "You'll always be like, I will always be my daddy's little girl, even though I just gave birth to a little girl," or something like that. And I was watching that, and I was like, I feel like my dad might do the same thing. I feel like my dad like super stoked about like grandchildren and everything. Like my chat knows this, but he's just waiting for me to give him the word so he can retire, because he wants to like retire in Japan, or just like, you know, have a purpose after retiring. He doesn't want to just kind of like rot and go on 6-month cruises and shit. So he's like, either he wants to work for me, which I'm just like, bro, like if you want to come, right? Like live with me, or I'll get you a little place that's near me. It's not gonna be hard, but you don't have to like wash. You like, I'll wash your dishes. I'll make sure that your life will be a lot easier.
Like they like doing that.
And I'm like, and I was like, if you want to, sure, but I'm not gonna freaking like pay you like that. I'm just gonna make sure that your life will be taken care of and everything like that. Like, but I'm not gonna like pay you like an employee. That just feels really, really wrong, right? And he's like, if not that, then give me a grandchild. Which, and then he fucking hits me with like, give me the grandchild. I was like, oh,
I have the same thing. Like my parents just like feeling like they're living for a purpose, right? Like, okay, this is a thing. I know that I don't know, maybe my parents aren't watching this stream. I can't ever say this on my stream because like my mom watches it. Yeah. But sometimes I would purposely like ask them for help to like sort shit out that's already sorted. Like I basically already sort all my paperwork and it's like to the side, and then I basically go like, oh, I need help sorting it out. Like it's fine. Just so then they feel like they're helping. Yeah. Because like they can't help me with my job now, right? Yeah. So they're like, oh, I don't know, like I can't really help you. And sometimes they really want to like be there for you. Yeah. So then I ask them to do something, and it's like not right. But then I'm like, oh my god, thank you, you saved me. So then I would swap it out. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna ship it over. I was like, oh, okay, here, let me like clean it up, and then I swap it to the one I've already done. Yeah. And then they can ship it off. And like that way they feel so like clever. I'm part of my daughter's business and shit like that, but it's not. I just do it so they feel like they're like,
that's cute. I think my parents, because my parents don't like, they know what I do, but at a very baseline level, because they're just kind of too boomerish to kind of grasp the situation. So then she knows like an anime girl and whatever. So I feel like my mom doesn't try to help in that sense, because she knows that she'll probably just be slowing things down. So how she helps is just like always dropping food off for me, because like I've already moved out a while ago, right? So she's always dropping food off for me. She's always buying me like a little bibs and bobs here and there, like extra, like a box of bananas. I was like, what am I gonna do with a box of bananas? But she gets me that and stuff like that. So that's kind of how she shows. And for example, the Chinese Pikachu set that I asked her to buy me, because she's still currently in China, she was so worried that like, okay, I bought it. Is it this one? And then it's like, okay, I sent it to you. This is the tracking info. Did you get it? My phone says that you got it. So she was very like, making sure that like, if there are things that I did ask her to do, that it's done correctly. And I'm just like, hey, it's just Pikachu, man. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But she always tries to like make sure that like other aspects of my life are like taken care of, because she knows she can't help me.
They just want to be part of it.
My mom found out that I stream. My mom was so incredulous. She was like, you. Like, not in a mean way, but she was like, my daughter, Giri, that talks like that doesn't speak more than 5 words a day. Yeah. Streams, and like I was like, what do you do? And I'm just like, I talk. And she's like, you talk? Like for money? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I just like stream for like, you know, 3-4 hours, 5-6 hours. And like and then like they listen. And I'm like, yeah? And they're like, you don't say shit every day. What do you mean? Where are you getting all these words from? And I'm like, I don't know. I just like, you know, I'm just a little bit more uppity when I'm streaming. It's still both me. I'm just a bit more uppity. And she's like, damn. Really? They listen to you?
Same. That's the thing with my mom. At first I did that. But then like 2 months in, she's like, do you not like talking to me? And then I felt so bad. So ever since then, I just don't do it anymore. Like, I used to be like, you know how I talk like Austrian, right? But ever since my mom said that, I was like, ooh. So then now I actually do. And sometimes when I really lose my voice, I'll be like, Mom, my voice is gone, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna be a bit quiet. But then the whole day, I'd be like more physical with my mom. Yeah. So she knows I don't hate her.
That's really cute.
Because she's like, she doesn't say it, but she is a bit more like sensitive. My dad is too. My dad's like, you don't like talking to me? And I'm like, oh, I do, but like, you know, it's exhausting, right?
Yeah. I think I'm just so normally so like low energy, I suppose, or just monotonous that that's what they're used to. So when I do it like that, if I'm speaking like this, you're gonna think I'm on drugs. Probably. You're gonna be like, are you okay? Like, are you hiding something? Are you like dying? Are you in debt? Like, why are you talking like you're like having the time of your life? And I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Like, the thing is, my parents are like, just be yourself. And then I do, and they're like, do you hate us? So I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really hard concept to grasp sometimes. So I'm like, it's fine. I'll do it for you because I love you. If I didn't love you, I'd fucking kill you right now. But like, I love you. So it's fine. But that's why, like, sometimes Chet's like, I swear, I feel like your voice got worse. It's like, yeah, my mom called me for 3 hours last night. So, yeah.
Thankfully, though, my mom is the yapper in the family. So my mom will talk in circles for hours. She'll tell you a story, and then she'll be like, yeah, so that's why. And then she says the story. It's like those like TikTok shorts where it's like, and that's why you should. And then it's just like, cut it pun or whatever like that, right? You know? So she will just go in circles like that. Ever since I moved out or like proved that I was like an adult and I had a sustainable like job and all that stuff. This is before streaming, just on my desk job and shit. Her attitude changed really quickly. So I went from like, you're my daughter, you don't know anything, not in a degrading way, but it's just like, you don't know anything. I know what's better. You gotta do this, this, and that. Until going like, oh, okay, you drank? Okay. You came home late? Okay. Like it's my like at my own house. It's like, and I would, for example, I would start swearing, not like a potty mouth, but I'll be like, oh my god, that's so funny, right? And I told him, what the fuck? And then I remember letting that slip one time, and then I was like, oh, yeah, my dad is going to fucking throw that fist at me or some shit like that. And then my dad was like, ha 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 ha. He was like laughing, and my mom was like, oh, you said that? No way, that's so funny. And I was like, who is this, bro? Like, who stole my parents and brainwashed them? Who is this?
Like, that's the thing. Like, they were so strict, and then at a certain age, when they realize it's like, you're good, they become like, they 180. That happened with my parents too. They used to be like strict, and then at one point, they're just like relaxed with anything. Like, at one point, I caught them, and I was medicated, and I was like, oh, I'm so high right now, and they're like, nice. Like, that's, like, they don't care. Like, they don't care anymore. But that's the thing.
The Chinese, the Asian parents switch up so fast, bro. 180.
Yeah. That's like, I think you need to like prove something. Like, you need to like prove, because like, the moment at first when I was like, I started streaming, they were like, that's not a job, and then I can live on my own and everything, and like, thankfully,
you show them the money, and then they're like, oh,
it's not even just showing them money. Like, I showed them that like, hey, I can like somewhat live, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, okay, like, they can relax now. But that's one thing. When I was younger, I low-key detested my family because they were so restricting, right? Yeah. Like it's like they were never strict. They were just like tight, you know what I mean? So then like,
my parents exactly the same.
Yeah, like you need to always ask them for everything.
And it's always, well, I don't know about your parents, but I always have to see if my mom's mood is good.
Yes.
And then I have to be like, oh, she's not in a good mood, I won't ask. And you have to kind of skirt around the question and frame the question. Yeah, and then you have to like pick the timing. And like, it's one of those things when like your friends are like, let's hang out now. You're like, I can't do that. Nah, girl, you don't understand.
You
what do you mean now? What do you mean hang out? We're not doing homework?
It's like, if you want to hang out, you have to tell me 7 business days beforehand.
Yeah, man, I gotta like fucking gauge my parents' like, you know, mood that day. And you get shit like that.
Especially when they're like, just ask your mom. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. She just got home from work and she is not the happiest. Especially when it's like, let's hang out. We'll probably be back like plus minus 11 p.m. It's like, no.
That's
first
way
of all,
too late. 11?
It has to be like less than 8 p.m. and it has to be exact. It can't be plus and minus. You can't give me that shit.
I remember telling my mom one time, or she set the curfew rather to 6 p.m. I think I got back at like 6:30. I was shivering in my
Yeah.
booty cheeks.
Yeah.
When I was opening the door, I was like,
Yeah.
我回来了. I'm home. And my mom was like, 几点了? She's like, what time is it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
6:30. And she's like, what time did they tell you to go home? I'm like, 6. And she's like, what time is it now? 6:30. The fear of God, bro.
God.
Jesus can't even scare me as much as my mother did, bro.
Yep,
I'm just like, I was a good Christian girl. Jesus could never do that to me. Oh my God, but my mother did.
That's the thing. I don't know if your parents did this, but then like if you're out for hours, they like you need to update them.
Yeah.
Like pictures.
No, if
everything.
I update, they'll be like, no, we said 6.
Yeah.
There's no updating.
Yeah.
It's just 6.
That happens. Like that's why it's like I low-key used to detest them, and I was like, because they were also busy, so I never really got to talk to them anyway.
Yeah.
But then I started like, okay, low-key chat. What made me like realize is like I started working at like fashion, right? And then I was spending like the whole day, like I was barely eating, barely paying bills, barely doing jack shit. Like, and I realized it's like at home, yes, they were controlling, but then like they always have like food. You know what I mean? Like they always have food for you, and then like right? Oh, welcome, Shira!
Welcome in, Shira.
Yeah, we're talking about our Asian families. Ooh, Ons. Welcome, Raiders.
I hope you had a great stream, Shira. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why it's like I used to like detest them, and then I lived alone, and I realized it's like, damn, they really like fed you. You know, like you never really had to
roof
like
over your head. There's electricity. You had a cell phone. You went through school or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All your milestones, they got you covered. It's just that they were just like really.
That's the thing. Like I didn't even have like phones and shit, but like they would get mad at you.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't like actually kick you out or
no,
anything.
No. They're all like, I don't want to say empty threats. They're just mad in the moment. They will never desert you. I think an Asian parent, you have to really, really push them to be like, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
Don't call me your dad ever again. That has to go to very severe lengths. They'll probably yell at you a little bit, and because let's be real, maybe you did do something bad, right? Maybe you broke curfew, maybe you lied or something.
Yeah.
They're just like they're teaching you in a wrong way, but they're still trying to teach you.
Yeah.
So they'll
like
never.
What they know, you know what I mean?
Asian parents will always get your back, no matter what the fuck they say in front of your face. Behind you, they're like, "That's my son. That's my daughter. You better like fuck off," kind of a thing.
That's why, like, the moment I started like being more independent, and I was like low-key miserable, like I was like, "Oh, I miss home," and then. That's when I'm like, you know what? I kind of respect them a little bit. Because, like, they be juggling this shit and a family after they get home. Like, I'd be pissed at myself, too. You know what I mean? So, in the moment I actually got to, like, talk with them. And then they're, like, more relaxed. And then we actually started getting close. Never again. Like, now I am, like, the biggest, like... The reason I've said this, like, people in chat, like, oh, you should just move, right? Because, like, Indo's great. But sometimes it's not the best.
Like out of the country?
Yeah.
Oh,
like Indo's great, don't get me wrong, but if you're Indonesian, okay, sometimes it ain't the best, right? Like it's not like great.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, for your safety, just move out. And I have a lot of people like living abroad, and they're like, oh, we can help you. But one of the biggest reasons I'm like, I can't permanently move is because my family is still in Indo, and I can't be away
just
from
leave
them.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Leave.
Like I'm now like so close. Back then I'm like, I want to leave. I can't wait to be on my own. And now I'm like, Mom, I'm like, no. If I can spend time with you, I want to, and I don't want to be alone. And like, can I just live with me? And they're like, my mom wants me to go back and live with her in her place, but the thing is, I can't. Because like I'm a streamer, right? I need to be loud and noisy, and the connection has to be good. Everything has to be soundproof. It's just like too much effort.
Yeah.
And she's like, we can sort this out for you, and I'm like, no.
Soundproofing. We'll do everything.
Yeah. It's like not worth. If that makes sense. So that's why it's like it's tough. Now it's so different. I miss my mom sometimes. She's so goofy, but she's trying her best.
Subscribe. Hit the like button.